Good morning. I'm Diane Russell, and I have the privilege of serving as worship associate this morning. Our opening words are from the book, Restoring Sanity, Practices to Awaken Generosity, Creativity, and Kindness in Ourselves and Our Organizations, by Margaret Wheatley, author, consultant, and founder of the training program, Warriors for the Human Spirit. It is a wondrous thing. It is a wondrous thing to know each other as humans being fully human. It is a wondrous thing to be able to restore sanity. It is a wondrous thing to awaken our human spirits. It is a wondrous thing to know all humans can be generous, creative, and kind. It is a wondrous thing to partner with life and spirit. It is a wondrous thing to experience uncertainty as inviting rather than frightening. It is a wondrous thing to create islands of sanity, places of possibility and refuge where the human spirit can thrive. Restoring sanity is joyful work. May we become intimate with this joy. Let us worship together.
For our lives, they won't stop the tide this time. For our
Thank you, choir. That was really beautiful and really inspiring. Today's reading is excerpts from Margaret Wheatley's writings on Islands of Sanity. We need to restore sanity by awakening the human spirit. We can achieve this only if we undertake the most challenging and meaningful work of our leader lives by creating islands of sanity. An island of sanity is a place of possibility and refuge, a cohesive community of people who know they cannot survive these violent tsunamis alone, who know that staying together in healthy relationships is the only way to accomplish their good work. Restoring sanity is very hard work, and it's the only work worth doing. Who knows if we'll succeed, but the joy is in the trying. The meaning is in moments when we know we did something good. We supported a person. We brought possibilities into form. We strengthened our community. We kept going against all odds. Shall we do this work to restore sanity? As President Teddy Roosevelt enjoined us, do what you can, where you are, with what you have. Let's do what we can. To choose otherwise is truly insane. We'd be contributing to the continuing destruction of the human spirit. What greater crime is there? What a bold and beautiful experiment to explore the reaches of the human spirit in this time when so little feels sacred, not even humans. May we choose to be those who restore sanity, awaken our human spirits, and experience the wonders of who we humans can be, no matter what is happening in the external world. We cannot do this alone. We need to gather together with others who are motivated by the same sense of call. We develop an island mentality not to exclude, but to increase our capacity to serve. An island of sanity takes form from our intentions and aspirations. It develops strength and capacity as we work hard, struggle, stay together, figure things out, fail, succeed, learn, forgive, laugh, persevere. It is pure gift to dedicate ourselves to creating these sanctuaries of possibility. May joy be our familiar companion.
There are seasons in history when systemic unraveling becomes visible. Institutions strain, language coarsens, policies wound, fear travels faster than truth, and we're living in such a season. In this particular season, immigrant families carry uncertainty about their very safety and stability. Affordability trackers indicate that 52% of Americans don't have what they need to live securely. Transgender beloveds are under threat of having rights taken away from them and have had rights taken away from them in some states. Racism is rampant. You only need to look at the fallout over the Super Bowl halftime show last week to see that. Public rhetoric grows sharper and less humane on all sides. Communities feel polarized on all sides. Trust feels fragile. Many of us carry low-grade exhaustion from living in the midst of all this. I know I do. My exhaustion is emotional, mental, and spiritual, and even physical, as all of that, of course, lives within this body. So when I was looking through the worship resource packet this month on our theme of embodying resilience, I was struck when I came across the work of Margaret Wheatley, American writer, teacher, speaker, and management consultant whose work is to create organizations and community worthy of human habitation, communities worthy of human habitation. Oh, do I long for that? I imagine we all do. So I dug into her work, and what struck me most was her call for us to restore sanity in the midst of chaos, and by doing so, restore our own humanity. Now, Wheatley's work does not deny discord or chaos or the unraveling we are living in. She names it plainly and clearly. When systems decline, she says, they often grow more rigid. They double down on control, and they escalate rather than reflect. But then she asks a question that cuts through the noise, through the fear, through the confusion. In the midst of all that, she asks, who do we choose to be? She doesn't ask, how do we fix the whole system? She doesn't ask, how do we overpower the storm? But instead, she posits, who will we be inside of it? Wheatley then proposes that in chaotic times, our most important work is to build what she calls these islands of sanity. Small communities where people refuse to mirror the chaos around them. Places where truth is spoken with courage, where fear does not dictate behavior, where power is held accountable, where human dignity remains non-negotiable. This is not a pampered, escapist island retreat. This is a place of moral formation. Because when systems dehumanize, the temptation is to dehumanize back. When rhetoric escalates, the temptation is to escalate in return. Now, who among us, you don't have to raise your hands, you can just nod knowingly. Who among us is not guilty of framing the president, his administration, or MAGA as something other than fully human? Have we not said degrading things amongst the safety of others who would agree with us? I know I have, plenty. Just this weekend, just the other day, Pope Leo issued his Lenten message as the season of Lent is upon the Christian calendar. It starts next Wednesday. He said, I would like to invite you into a very practical and frequently unappreciated form of abstinence, that of refraining from words that offend or hurt your neighbor. Let us begin by disarming our language, avoiding harsh words and rash judgment, refraining from slander and speaking ill of those who are not present and cannot defend themselves. Instead, let us strive to measure our words and cultivate kindness and respect for our families, among our friends, at work, on social media, in public debates, and in our communities. In this way, words of hatred will give way to words of peace and hope. Pope Leo offers this message because he knows that cruelty cannot be cured by becoming cruel ourselves, any more than chaos can be healed by creating more chaos. We are not invited to fight fire with fire, but instead to create something else altogether, to create these islands of sanity that give us grounding in the midst of a raging storm. And if you want to see what an island of sanity looks like, you don't have to imagine it. It's not a far off utopian that only lives in theory. You can look to Minneapolis. I know I'm talking about Minneapolis a lot. I'm not going to stop talking about Minneapolis till things are done in Minneapolis, and things are not anywhere near done in Minneapolis. But you can look to Minneapolis right now, a city that was just nominated, the whole city, for a Nobel Peace Prize. You didn't know that? Yeah. Go Minneapolis. In moments when that city has been shaken by violence, by institutional breakdown, by fear within immigrant communities, and official systems have not always provided the steadiness that is needed there. I will tell you that. I know you're all thinking that Mayor Fry and Governor Walz are doing this perfect job. They're not. I mean, they're there, they're doing a job, but that's not all that needs to be done. So in the midst of that, something else has emerged. Neighbors, organized food distribution centers and churches and storefronts. Mutual aid networks formed overnight, text change, shared documents, coordinated volunteers, all happened. Lawyers offered pro bono hours deep into the night. Clergy showed up visibly to demand a return to morality. Teachers checked in constantly and quietly on students whose lives felt unstable. Community members trained in de-escalation and stepped into tense spaces to prevent harm. This was not abstract idealism. It was infrastructure created by the people there. It was islands of sanity in the midst of chaos. Rent funds. My Facebook feed, since I have so many Minneapolis peeps on my Facebook, it's just asks for rent money for people. That's what people are doing. They're sharing people that they know that need help paying their rent because so many people have been displaced there. Networks have been created. Transportation is being coordinated. Sanctuary doors are open. People are saying to one another, you do not have to face this alone. We are all in this together. This is what Wheatley describes in her work. Action here in the real world. An island of sanity is not calm because the world is calm. It is coherent because the people within it choose coherence. Minneapolis has not eliminated chaos. Even if ICE is truly leaving, which they haven't yet, the harm still remains. Billions of dollars of harm has incurred there. Immigrants have still not returned to work. Fear still runs deep. But in neighborhoods, congregations, and community centers, people choose relationships over fragmentation. They choose responsibility over reactivity. And in doing so, they stabilize something larger than themselves. Among the shouting and the marching, there was also something quieter present in what's going on there. Not exuberance, not denial, but steady resilience taking on so many quiet forms. Artists are present just as much as activists, painting colorful words of encouragement and resistance across the city. Kitchen table community organizers are just as present as those who are patrolling the streets. And everywhere there is music. There is music. Night after night, day after day, hundreds gather outside of the hotels where ICE are staying and sing. Now, they sing not only out of protest to keep them awake all night, because they do that, but they also sing to restore sanity. So I'm going to show you a video here. Do you want to know what an island of sanity looks and sounds like in the midst of chaos? Here are 1,600 people singing outside of the hotel where ICE was staying in Minneapolis. Oh, can we get volume? It's okay to change your mind, and you can join us anytime. Oh, it's okay to change your mind. Your courage, leave it behind. It's okay to change your mind, and you can join us here anytime. 1,600 people. And it's cold there. And I mean like really cold, not like you guys cold. California cold. Minnesota cold. Wisconsin cold. Michigan cold. Midwest peeps in the house. Chicago cold. And they're out there doing this every day. Every day. A defiant reminder that we can change the story anytime by restoring the best of humanity in ourselves and inviting others to do the same. It's beautiful. Wheatley tells us that in dark times, small groups of people who remember how to function from the deepest well of their humanity will become our anchors. Minneapolis has shown that when formal systems strain, informal networks can become life-giving infrastructure. And that is what we're called to be as a congregation, right? That's that little heartfelt piece of why we all feel like we should be here with something bigger than ourselves. To be here in this community, practicing that. Not to be perfect, not to be without disagreement or tension, but to be grounded, right? Grounded together in the deepest parts of our humanity. Because when fear spreads, people look for steadiness. When rhetoric fractures, people look for integrity. When institutions wobble, people look for trustworthy communities. Islands of sanity provide that. But let us be clear. Building islands of sanity does not mean avoiding confrontation with injustice. It means confronting injustice without surrendering our integrity. It means naming harm without abandoning discipline. It means resisting dehumanization without becoming dehumanizing ourselves. It means holding power accountable while remaining accountable ourselves. The prophetic tradition has always required this tension, to speak boldly, to protect the vulnerable, to challenge unjust systems, and yet to remain rooted in a vision of shared humanity. That is not softness. That's strength under discipline. Wheatley insists that systems in breakdown are not rescued by frenetic overreaction. They are renewed, if they are renewed, by small communities that practice coherence. And we practice the coherence as people of shared faith here when our values align with our behavior, when our words and actions match, when our covenant is not aspirational but embodied. So the question before us is not abstract. Are we building that kind of infrastructure right here? Because this place, this congregation, this is where we practice that. Do we know among us right now who here might need accompaniment? Do we know among us right now who is part of that 52% that is having trouble meeting their needs? And what are we doing about it? Do we know who of our neighbors outside of these walls are in that struggle? And what can we do about that? Do we have systems of mutual aid that are practiced, not imagined? We do, we have some, right? But what more can we build? Where and how can we expand what we have? Are we training ourselves in de-escalation? We need to do more of that. I might talk to Mary Bevins about that. She might have some people that can help me set up some things here. Are we talking about training ourselves in care and in courageous conversations? Are we prepared to show up, not just symbolically, but concretely? Islands of sanity do not emerge accidentally. They are constructed, maintained, repaired, strengthened, and they require courage. Not optimism, not denial, but resolve, the kind that shows up in meetings, the kind that learns new people's names. Please keep your name tags on. The kind that makes phone calls to ask if somebody's okay or sends them a text, hey, I'm just thinking about you, how are you doing today? The kind that stays when conversations are hard and listens rather than protests. the kind that refuses to abandon dignity, even when dignity feels fragile. Wheatley tells us that in times of breakdown, leadership is less about charisma and more about moral stamina. It's less about winning and more about remaining whole. Less about conquering the storm and more about standing firm within it. Minneapolis has shown us this. Chaos does not get the final word. People do. Communities do. Character does. So who will we choose to be? Reactive? I've done that. It gives me a lot of stress. Or rooted? Fragmented? I feel like that a lot of times too. Or coherent? That's how I feel on Sunday mornings with y'all. Will we be mirroring the storm or will we be standing steady within it? Let us answer the call to become not just an island of escape from the storm every Sunday morning, but one of integrity and of moral sanity. Let us not be insulated, but grounded. Let us not be loud for the sake of volume, but clear in our commitments and steady in turning those commitments into real actions, into real community. A community that refuses to abandon its humanity even when humanity feels contested. And from such places, steady, courageous, and morally awake, a future that can grow, that invites the best of humanity to shine forth from all of us. Blessed be. Amen.